Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go.
You know the frequency, yeah. You know the frequency. Come on. You know the frequency, yeah. You know the frequency.
I've been upgrading my frequency. I've been protecting my energy. I've been upgrading my frequency. No matter what, I protect my energy.
We off the grid.
Yes, we are back. Another episode of the Frequency Live on WMB1 Radio. I am your host, B. Carter.
Double D, Derek Demers.
Charlie P. What's happening?
And this is the Frequency Live on WMB1 Radio. Download the app. Let's go. What's going on, guys? Another week has gone by.
Quickly, very quickly.
People, download the app. You can listen on the radio, WMB1radio.com, or go download the app on Apple and Android outlets. But you can watch on Facebook also.
Yeah.
What's going on, guys?
Football season coming.
Yeah, I'm excited for that, honestly.
Cannot wait.
They cut one of the Sander brothers.
Oh, Shiloh, yeah.
I mean, according to Berto, this is the year for the Raiders. Right?
Yes.
It's our big post,
Yes.
Berto with his shirt on. Like, this is the year, so
Yes.
we're going to have to see.
What, am I lying?
I don't know.
Because
It can't be the year if you're going to be 0-1 week one.
we're gonna beat y'all.
They play the Patriots week one?
Yeah, week one, right at Gillette. Yeah, I might just go there just to tailgate, because tailgating with those Raider fans is not nice.
Great.
It's not nice. When you got that black and silver, that's kind of intimidating. You know what I'm saying?
That's all over
Playing that East Coast hip hop gangster music.
That's all over the country.
Easy E, Dr.
Raiders,
Dre.
yeah.
That's crazy.
They got a good showing for decades. Raiders come out.
Oh yeah, real men wear black, man. Real men wear black.
They take over coliseums in some cities.
Yeah.
Where the fan base is kind of weak, but Raiders, Dallas, Giants, when they all come in, man.
Oh, I'm telling you.
Take it over.
I went to a Raider game. I got two stories. I went to a Raider game, and what was it? This one is in Jacksonville. And there was a Raider fan. He literally had a gorilla outfit on for the whole time in Miami.
Yeah,
and it was hot.
Yeah.
I was hot. It was hot. And he had that gorilla outfit on. Like, well, it wasn't a gorilla outfit. He was in like a Raider tank top.
Yeah.
But he was in a Raider tank top, and he had a gorilla mask on, and he had it on him for the whole game. And he just stood in the aisle. He didn't even stay at his seat. He stood in the aisle. And then I went to a Raider game in Jacksonville. That was a real good time, where I had a friend of mine, shout out to Gary, where we had decent tickets. Me and my man Fu, we had decent tickets, but he got us tickets on the 50-yard line, right?
Yeah.
First row.
Nice.
So you couldn't get no closer. We were talking to the replay booth.
Yeah.
The guys that handled the replay and all that stuff. And we were trying, like, Fu, his crazy ass. He was trying to get the official's hat.
Yeah.
Yo, can I get that hat? Like literally, you could see Devontae Adams. Who was talking, like, we were like yelling at him. He like, oh shit, they heard me.
Yeah,
It was an experience to watch a game, seeing those guys at that size, those athletes play that close. That's an experience. Like, you couldn't get no better seats. You like, because our friend of ours had connections. He says, come on, let's go. And it was 50-yard line, front row, very first row, 50-yard line on the 50 right there.
Nice.
There's no better seats.
No.
To watch a Raider game against Jacksonville, it was a good time. It was good time for that. But football season starting. Everybody's getting hyped. Did you see that video where, because you got a lot of people getting on the Dallas Cowboys, right? That scene where it was like they had a guy, like they were making it like they were at an exhibit, and like, come on, guys, make your way over here. It was a crowd. Make your way over here. It goes right here is a Dallas Cowboy fan, very popular in the 90s, and they all went with their phones. They're like, wow, yeah. And also, like, did you watch that Netflix docuseries on the Cowboys, the Americans team.
No, I missed it.
No.
Oh, that was a great.
Yeah.
Great. It basically talked about the time period of the 90s when, you know, Jimmy Johnson came in, like when Jerry Jones bought the team, you know, him firing Tom Landry and then him firing and hiring Jimmy Johnson. And then, you know,
that was the older one, right? Yeah. I've seen that one. Yeah.
No, new. It just came out.
Yeah.
It's brand new.
Wow.
It just came out this week. You know, who was on it? We had Emmitt Smith, Troy Aikman, Michael Irvin, Deion Sanders, you know, a lot of like a couple of players from the 49ers teams. Obviously they were butting heads. Like you go back and you go relive those games and how many good players were on that field at one time. I'm like, it's like, it like football ain't the same, man. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like you really look at the 49ers when they had Rice, they had Steve Young, they had, Ricky Waters. Is it Ricky? Yeah, Waters. Yep. Like those players was like it had some great players on there. Mervyn Hanks and
Jonathan Taylor,
like
Ronnie Lott at the end.
Yeah, Ronnie Lott. Like there were a lot of good players. Those 49ers teams, you know. And then you really look at Dallas Cowboys, and we have to relive the trade of the Herschel Walker trade.
Yeah,
where the whole thing, like I didn't realize that whole Herschel Walker trade was the reason why Minnesota did those trades, because they didn't think that it was either you pick the person or you keep or you get the picks, you know? So basically they traded and they got players. And if the players made the team, you don't get the picks. But what they did was they just cut all the players because they wanted the picks.
Wow.
They didn't think that the Dallas Cowboys would do that because the Dallas Cowboys didn't need players. They're revamping their team and they were okay players.
Yeah.
Right. So he's like, no, because Jimmy Johnson knew what was coming through the pipe. You know, all those Miami players.
Yeah.
So, you know, they okey-doked them saying, yeah, we'll take those players, knowing that they were going to release them anyway to get the picks.
Yeah.
And then led up to a team that was that Dallas Cowboys team was very
scary.
Yeah. If you really look at that team, like that offensive line, that defensive line, that defense, like who they had, it was funny. The most entertaining guy was Michael Irvin. Michael Irvin says, I was born to catch. I was born to catch. When I came out of my mother's womb, the doctor tried to slap me and I caught his hand. I was born to catch.
I met him in the airport.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool dude.
Yeah.
He's made for TV, and it's sad that we don't see him routinely like we used to.
And when I was watching the series, I was really thinking about all these guys. Someone like Michael Irvin were on ESPN talking football, talking sports, and for whatever reason, stupid stuff happened that was even in their control. If you really look at what happened with Michael Irvin, and they were entertaining to listen to. It's not like that anymore. If you really listen to ESPN and the sports talks, it's really blah. Other than Stephen A, to be honest with you. You know what I'm saying? Stevie A understands the entertainment aspect of it, where to get people be interested to watch people talk about sports, you got to be animated. You got to have some type of personality. Michael Irvin was that guy. Ray Lewis was the type of that guy. Shannon Sharpe was that type of guy, where you had the personality to engage and talk sports, and people enjoyed you watching it. What you watching, talking about it.
Yeah. Even Skip, you know,
Skip was okay.
Skip, yeah.
So it just, you know, and people underestimate his career, but he's been doing it for decades.
Yeah,
and he's
Skip was on the docuseries too.
See, and so a lot of football professionals were on the screen, gave you some insight. You know, I love Ryan Clark. I love everything. I like him when he started. He's just a good conversation. The intellect is there.
Yeah.
You know, on both sides of it, whether it's for TV or whether it's for football, he definitely has the insight. But yeah, there's a lot of pretty boys and girls that are now taking over, you know.
And it's not entertaining. Like I'm listening to it, I'm like, ah, like when Stephen A's on, I don't want to listen to it. I don't want to listen to it. It's the programming is not as good as it used to be. When they remember when ESPN made their cuts, layoffs, and all stuff. People like what's his name? He was a quarterback. He was a quarterback for the Ravens when they won the Super Bowl. Trent Dilfer.
Yeah.
Trent Dilfer was very entertaining and very knowledgeable about the position in football. Like I like Dan Orlovsky. He's good.
Yeah, he's all right.
You know, you had the Ray Lewis, you had the Michael Irvins. You know, you even had a Deion Sanders for a short period of time.
Yeah.
You know, you had players that were talking about football that had a personality that was very entertaining when they talk. It's like I remember Michael Irvin says, I love my quarterback. He helps me feed my family. And he talks about the Cowboys, he goes into it and he gets this whole little monologue, right? And Steve A just lets him go and he's like, all that, oh my God. But it's entertaining and but yet you're still getting the knowledge of football. So watching that documentary and listening to those guys talk, even Emmitt Smith when he was talking was entertaining, because they had a confidence about them, cockiness about them that's very entertaining to watch.
Yeah.
Then he talked about Switzer there, that the coach that took over,
from Oklahoma.
From Oklahoma, and how I didn't realize him and Aikman didn't get along because Aikman, he's too nice. He was too much of a player's coach. He's like, I see these guys, they practice if they want to practice and everything like that. And he goes, and Barry Switzer was like, I'm not gonna be their daddies, is like they're professionals, so they should know better. But at the end of the day, these guys are in their early 20s. You know what I'm saying? It's so him and Aikman butted heads a lot. And I think also, and it shows like Jerry Jones and the Jimmy Johnson thing, I think they both had egos.
Yeah.
And they both had a lane. I think it's more Jerry Jones than Jimmy Johnson. It could have been handled differently, but Jerry Jones was just too much. Like
He wanted to be the guy.
Yeah, he did. Which it's his team. I get it.
But he wanted to be the owner, the general manager, the coach.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like, stay in your lane.
Yeah.
Let someone coach the team.
Yeah.
Yeah. Jerry gets involved with too much stuff. And at the latter years you could see that he was just, Jimmy Johnson was, how about them Cowboys, that old saying, that was crazy. But how do you get rid of that coach? How do you let him go?
Yeah.
Could you imagine what would have extended?
I mean, they could have had 6 Super Bowls.
Yeah.
Their team was so stacked, right? I mean,
and they all loved it there.
They could have won more than 3.
They're still in Texas. Some of those players are still there.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they love that area. They love, and I don't know. I think Troy Aikman was that ideal captain for them, along with a few others, Nate Newton, and a few others that were Haley. Forget about him.
Oh, they talked about Haley. This was a story. I don't know if you heard about this story. When he was at San Fran, he didn't like being in San Fran. So he wanted to leave. So, he was talking shit. He was in the meeting room. He was talking shit, and he looks back. Like a player was talking about. They look back, and he goes, "He's in the meeting room pleasuring himself."
Yeah.
Yeah. And then later on, he goes, he went into, I don't know if it was the GM's office or the owner's office, and he went in there and he just put his dick onto on his desk and goes, boom. Goes, this is how much I want to be out of here.
Yeah.
It's crazy. It's crazy. But but come to find out, he had he was bipolar.
Oh, okay.
He was bipolar. So, but he didn't play. If he got pissed off, he can go and like this off the rail, and nobody's messing with Charles Haley, But what calmed him down was, you guys got to watch it, where, there was an issue where he went off on a trainer or something like that, and he thought he was gonna get kicked off the team. And then Barry Switzer went to his house, and he was like, "You know, son, because you're the first coach in my whole career that a coach ever came to my house."
Yeah.
And he sat down and goes, we had a big conversation. He's like, "Yo, what the fuck is going on?" Like, he talked to me direct and straight, and I was never treated like that.
Yeah.
And he goes, I have respect for him the way. So it's almost like Troy Aikman didn't like his style, but his style fit some players like a Child Haley. But at the same time, there would need to be more discipline, because that was a time when after they won that Super Bowl, they started doing anything.
Party life.
Yeah. And when you watch it, goes there's a little segment of it where they talk about the White House. You gotta watch the White House. They just go the stuff that went on in the White House. It's funny, but it was a good series. I think everybody should watch, you know, especially Cowboy fans. You could relive those years, the glory days where and you could have won more Super Bowls if the same reason why you're not winning now is because of Jerry Jones. There's a reason why he didn't win as many more back then. But football season is here. How you think the Patriots are gonna do?
Probably about 9, 10 wins, 9 maybe. You know.
Yeah, I think they're gonna surprise people.
Yeah, 9 wins. I think they'll split with Miami and the Jets. Buffalo's just crazy, so I don't even bet against them when they're playing Buffalo. I mean, bet for them. I just think that they're gonna do all right. You know, last year they had a lousy team and they were losing by a touchdown or less sometimes. And I just think they're a far better team. The defense is crazy. That front four is just gonna really be able to handle some game situations. So
I'm excited for it to start.
Yeah. 2 cornerbacks. Definitely, I'm a little worried about safety, but we'll see what happens. You know, if you're going to be weak, you got to be weak at safety compared to a cornerback. So maybe they can help them out a little bit, you know. But the linebackers is looking well, but that front four is going to be awesome.
I agree. All right, what do we got?
Hold on
Mr.
one
Berto.
second. I'm trying to let's talk about voter registration, Charlie. You brought that up first. What's going on with that?
Well, the deadline is for registration. I believe it's October 7th. Tell everyone you want to find out, you know, anything about registration, voter registration, go to mass.gov or actually go to the city in New Bedford election office website. Has everything broken down. You can register online at mass.gov for any city or town in Massachusetts. So just go on mass.gov. It will tell you the deadline. It also will what was it going to say? The voter registration, it will tell you where you vote. It could tell you what location you would vote during the primaries, during the election. So mass.gov is good. And especially if you have a phone in your hand, go ahead, get registered right now.
So how many people you said were registered already?
70,000, a little over 70,000.
So that's 70% of the city, more or less? About 100,000 people.
We're about 108, something like that, I think it is. So yeah.
Almost 70% of the people.
And only it's 40. Hold on.
But out of those 70%, you're not going to get that at the polls.
No,
you're going to get 20%,
19 to 16%. I think it was, but
which is sad.
I'll give you the numbers right now.
60% of people in this city voting.
What
is that? What you're saying?
About 16%.
Yeah,
less than 20% of the people go out to vote.
Yeah, out of that 70,000.
But
can you imagine?
Right. And a lot of those people are the same people that complain about this, complain about the roads, complain about police. They complain about everything, but they don't get out and vote.
Yeah, 45,000 people unenrolled. Unenrolled in the city.
So wait, so when you say unenrolled, that's every election,
Yeah.
not out, even outside the city.
Yeah, they're unenrolled.
No, those are based on New Bedford.
But I'm saying that they're unenrolled. That means that they can't even vote for their senator. They can't even vote for their president. They can't.
Yeah, so that's
45 just in the city alone that don't even vote at all for any type of election.
Yeah, that's crazy. Trying to find my stats here.
So listen, that is crazy, but I'm going to defend them loosely. But you know, we just voted for an audit. 70% of people voted for an audit, yet there's no audit. So I think there's a part of the community that says, you know what, my vote don't mean shit.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, let's just face it. I mean, you want to vote and you want to vote your guy in, you want to make change, you want to, like, you know, but at the end of the day, there's a lot of people, and sometimes I feel this way, when you vote for someone, nothing changes.
No.
You know, you get out there and vote, nothing changes. Your voice is not heard. Right.
Yeah. And the thing is they always tell you, vote locally. It's so important. Vote locally. It's real important. It pertains to a lot of things that happen statewide and federally. Vote local. And here we are. We vote local. All three of us across this panel right here had agreed that there should be an audit. I remember the show. We all said that. And you know, it's just crazy. I mean,
we didn't talk about this because this happened like over the summer. We took a break, but like, you know, people were going out and protesting and about, like, you know, the No Kings, taking time out of their day for, like, you know, the No Kings protest. Okay. But here we are, like, you know, we voted for an audit. Yeah. Like who's the king? And, you know, talk about like democracy, right?
Yeah.
Democracy is 70% of people voting for an audit, yet we don't see one.
Mm-hmm.
So where's the democracy, and where is, you know, who's the king? It really drives me crazy that we all voted for that, yet nothing happens. No one says anything. Where's the protest for that? Yeah. So we're talking about voting. You know, I'm bringing this up because we're talking about voting. So when people, you know, get discouraged that people don't go vote, maybe this is why people don't go vote, because when they go vote for something, they're not heard. Like, you know, nothing happens. Yeah. I remember going back 25 years ago, and I think we might have mentioned this with when we had Councilor Gomes on. I remember, like, you know, let's vote for the casino. You know, do you want the casino? I think the casino, like, you know, by and large, we accepted, but nothing happened. Like, you know what I mean? It's just like it's all bullshit sometimes. I hate to say it, but
yeah, they went in the other direction.
In the other direction, you know what I mean?
Yeah. For exactly what we have out there now. And right now, all it is a parking lot, right? At the bottom of Walnut Street. It's just a parking lot. Nothing's being touched. Nothing's being done. Is there a reason for it? Finances maybe got shut down. I don't know. But for us to have that casino, I think it would have been a booming thing down there. I go to area towns, and I mean, I go just as far as Fall River. You go into some of those plazas, and they're jam-packed with cars.
Yeah.
Right? It's only because they have stores there that you can walk around the strip mall,
right,
back and forth. You can go across the street and there's another strip mall. And why isn't that here?
Listen, I thought for sure it was going to come. Like, I talked to a couple of people that I felt like, all right, you know, these guys know what they're talking about. Like, damn, I felt like we were on like the 5-yard line, and we just couldn't get it into the end zone.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. And not even like say New Bedford, but I thought Taunton was, which is close to home for us. I thought Taunton was right at the goal line too. They were
working on something there.
Yeah, there's something going on.
They're doing. Yeah.
I thought that was going to be a casino. What I mean,
the Wampanoag.
Yep.
Someone was just talking about it on the internet about the casino in Taunton, and the mall, and all that.
That's a perfect.
Yeah,
put a casino.
Yeah, it could be right there.
Yeah, it's if you look at it, it's
perfect.
the equivalent of Foxwoods in your kind of area, that
Yeah.
spot, you know.
And the building, you really don't have to build a whole new building.
Nope.
You know what I'm saying? Because that if you go in that mall, the mall's huge.
Yeah.
And you could have a lot, that whole area. You could turn into, you got enough parking. That's a waste of space if it's not being used. But having a casino here also is very important. Like, even if it's not a casino, like you said, like strip malls, like in Fall River, they got a bunch of businesses everywhere.
Yeah. And
Like, why don't we have that here? Why don't we have the how can I say, what's the word, the population who support it? If you go in the Fall River, like Fall River that train is helping their city out a lot also. And they're taking advantage of it. There's businesses in there, there's a lot of things there that's enjoyable. I don't know what it is, but we should have more of ability of getting more traffic and getting more consumers in this city.
Yeah.
I don't know what's holding it back. I'm not a politician, and more I get into this city type of political atmosphere, is kind of aggravating.
Yeah, I don't know if it's like a parking issue, because you go to toll like every 2 hours or something. You got to feed the meter. I don't know if it's like not free parking. Like, I don't think that there's a lot of activity around here like at night as far as the stores go. Right. I know there's some like nightlife, right? There's like the bars down there and a couple of places you can go eat, right? I love all downtown.
Yeah.
But as far as like the shops to people to spend money, I think they close early.
No, I all due respect, I think that you need new ideas. You need new ways of going about things to get the people here that's going to spend money. That's what it is. Like, what is going to attract to spend money? Sometimes, like, I really feel like a little bit we depend too much on our Wheeling City type thing. Everything's Wheeling City. I don't even like when you're calling things the Cove or the Wheeler, or like, come on, man. Like, let's
for years I was always, the problem down here is generational. These buildings are owned by one generation after another, the same family, so they don't want to part it. But I truly wish that a lot of these buildings were gone, however, I love downtown too. I like walking around it. The parking, the meters, Derek just mentioned it, they'll stop at about 4:30. So constantly, paying the meter and feeding them is a hassle. It's definitely going to be a problem because of downtown's becoming residential.
Yeah.
So what are you going to do? You if you're going to put apartments, you got to have spaces for parking. Right. And so as someone that lives in a building, you want to be able to park outside your building, not walk way up the street or down the street. And if you do have designated parking, you're going to find that some of the customers in the area are going to park there, Even do you lose your spot?
Yeah. Talking about like the residential, but even like the businesses down there, because I come down here at night, right?
Yep.
And all those bars down there on Union Street, you can't park on Union Street. So like you're like parking up and over like something, right? You're walking downtown to like, say it's either like New Beige or, we go to the port. Like, it's like the port, sometimes you can sneak over there, but I was way up the hill the other day. So it's like, there's not much parking down there. Now you can't park in the YMCA, right? Or you got to like pay now.
Yeah.
Right. So it's like, I think parking's always an issue. I think people don't want to like walk so far, especially at night. Yeah. You leave a place 11 o'clock at night. Who wants to walk far to their car?
And sometimes it's like you may have a aha night with an extreme high population down here. And at times I'm up near County Street.
Right.
And look, the city's trying to capitalize on that. There's meters on the County Street, some locations, It's crazy. And So I
Know
don't
your
know.
audience. It's like you're living in not how can I say, a very rich neighborhood, so to speak, when you're just trying to nickel and dime everybody to make money. I don't know, like it's.
Oh, before it
I'm
was
sure
just
the city got bills to pay, and you know, and
Just another tax. We talked
you
about
know,
that last week.
yeah, it's
Another
so much
tax.
tax. It's ridiculous, and it just makes the cost of living in this country go up higher. For what? For what? Where all this money going to? I don't know, and that's where just the city politics is exhausting. Never mind anything else, and it's just I feel like it's all a perception.
Yeah, that's that. We talked about this last week. You know, we all think we pay in the 23, 25% for like taxes.
Mhm.
By the time you're done, you're like at more than 50%.
Mhm.
Because feeding the meter is a tax. After you've already paid taxes on your money, now you got to pay to park
Yeah,
on a city street.
yeah.
So you know what?
But that's everywhere too. You
No,
know,
that's everywhere.
It's everywhere. You know, it's like in Providence, they're trying to capitalize that too. It's ridiculous. It's
exhausting.
like, come on, like people that have the money to even go spend at these businesses. It's I don't know. But we were talking about voter registration and stuff. What do we like? Bring it to the national level. What do we feel about the redistricting in Connecticut and California? You know, battling them and said, all right, if y'all gonna do it, we're gonna do
Yeah.
it. Like, how do we feel about that?
Well, I think everyone has their goal and what they're trying to reach. I mean, Texas, they're trying to switch it up, and where it becomes where seats are now, going to the other side. I get that. So California's doing it. Connecticut's going to do it. There's going to
Texas.
be Texas. Few other. They're all going to do it. So what's going to happen is things are going to shuffle around. And wow, I mean, we all been to California. That's a huge Texas, California, huge states. So now things are going to be switched up. They say there's a comparison between California's doing it a democratic way compared to.
Well, California's doing it because Texas is doing it. They wouldn't have done it at all if Texas wasn't doing it. But I think Texas is doing it because they know they were going to lose seats.
2026 is so important to everybody.
Exactly. They knew they were going to lose seats.
Yeah.
So they were like, we're going to redistrict so we don't lose seats and possibly gain seats. They know they're going to lose seats at this. So it's like, we got to try to keep our majority. So they're trying to rig the election in a legal way because you're not doing anything wrong because you're able to do this. But you know why you're doing it because you won and got the majority 2 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
So, all right, or a year ago. So leave it as is. If you're doing such a great job, you got the majority. Leave it as is. If you're doing a great job, you should be able to keep the majority. But they know they're going to lose seats. And so they got to try to keep those seats. So I agree what California is doing. All right, you want to redistrict, we'll district and we'll get more Democratic seats here. So we'll challenge what y'all trying to do by get more Republican seats. We're going to get more Democrat seats. I also saw on the news where Maryland's going to do the same thing. A lot of these Democratic states is like, all right, you're going to play this game. And I agree. If you're going to play the same game they're playing, because obviously you're going to do it anyway. You don't care. You're literally going to, y'all threaten these legislators if they don't come into the and vote on it so they can do it. You're gonna put them in jail and stuff like that. All right, you want to play this game? Okay, play the game. I even like Gavin Newsom. He's talking like Trump on Twitter. You want to play? You want to be a fucking asshole? All right, I'm gonna be a fucking asshole. He's the same language, same type of language, same way he talks. I love it. I'm like, all right, we're gonna go to y'all level. If this is what people want, this is what you think politics is, and this is what you think is tough, you think is cool. All right, I'm gonna talk just like him. I'm gonna act tough just like him, and then you decide who's the real. I totally agree with that.
I mean, I like when they go at it.
Don't be nice.
I like it
because you're trying to talk politics. You want to be you like a fucking asshole. Then freaking, I'm gonna be an asshole. That's it. Don't complain about it. That's how I look at it.
Country's got a lot to lose if California becomes resistant to a lot of things. They have so much control. They have so much the stability and everything that they're offering this country from just that one state is tremendous. I mean, it's the revenue is more than a lot of countries throughout
Yeah,
Europe.
it's a lot.
I mean, probably all of Europe, mainly, I think. And so they gotta what do you they have some stance. They have standing ground. So they're gonna stay strong.
The
They're
economy,
gonna do it there.
like
New York's gonna add to it.
yeah,
You know?
yeah.
So
But these are states that literally make the country run. This is where the money comes from Massachusetts, from New York, from California. This is how the country is run. All right.
the thing
Don't
is
be
they're
nice,
gonna
yo.
lose
Fuck
seat.
them.
The Republican Party is losing elections.
Hell
Throughout
yeah.
the country.
When are they losing elections?
They just lost something in North Carolina.
Yeah, it's
was,
coming. Yeah.
A red seat. I say I don't want to quote it because it's just, we're on YouTube, we're on here. I don't want to
Yeah.
misinformation, so I have to get back to that. I'll add it to the comment section.
Mm-hmm.
But there was some seats. It was North Carolina. Is one election that was lost, and that was a red area.
Mm-hmm.
So do you think the tables are going to turn in 26?
I think.
I mean, it's only been 7 months that he's been president, but do you think in 2 years things are going to change?
I think that the Republicans is going to try to cheat their way, and that's what they're doing. That's why they're redistricting.
Something's in the horizon for them to do this gerrymandering.
Yeah.
I'm not defending it but this shit's been happening for years.
I agree.
Okay, this shit's been going on. Okay, Trump didn't start this. Texas, California, this shit's been going on for years. I read an article, and I don't have the facts, to speak on it, but it's like I read an article that Massachusetts, I read something where we're 40% Republican. Yeah, we have no seats because they did this years ago.
But states always do it. It's like I think it's like every 10 years or something like that.
Yeah.
Depending
on the population.
Yeah.
I mean,
but if you have a president calling and saying, "Hey, I need 5 more seats," why is the president doing that?
Because I want to know. Because I don't know this. Maybe you know this as fact. Like, did Texas start this or California?
Texas.
Yeah.
Okay.
Abbott.
Because Trump called and asked for, I need 5 more seats. They see what's coming down the pike.
Okay, maybe. I mean,
they see it. If y'all doing such a great job, like he's saying, and you won the majority, why you need to do all this? You should be easy to get those seats back.
I don't see it, but if you see it, I mean, I don't see it.
See what?
I don't see, oh my God, the Republicans are going to lose like everything now. I don't see.
Why don't you see that?
I just don't.
Do you think that a country actually agrees with what's going on?
I think a lot of the country does. And I think that there was some part
of that. You do?
Yeah, I do. So what's your biggest hiccup with what's going on? Like the immigration thing?
The immigration things, the war, we had the same wars in the Biden era that we have now is even worse. He has not done anything. Because our currency, our dollar is going down. Like our value of our dollar is down. This is what the problem. A lot of people, you need to go travel outside the country and really experience how the currency is going down of the dollar. And now with this tariffs and stuff like that, y'all giving other countries leeway to go make deals with other countries that are going to make deals that's going to affect us. You think, because what people don't understand is that we are Americans. We're not the only country in this world. And a lot of these countries have caught up to us. They have the technology, they have the education, they have the whereabouts, they have a better understanding how things work. We're not who we were before. So we need to work with other people, with all these other countries to keep these deals, to keep us on top. Goes, all they're doing, China's gonna sit back and say, go ahead. And I'm not gonna make the deal. China moves in silence. They own property in Brazil, they own land in freaking Cape Verde, they own land in Africa. They're making all these deals. And it goes, you need to keep these countries that you think is so bad close. But you don't realize that because we're in our bubble. We're in our bubble, and it's gonna happen. When I go outside the country and the place I went is 4.1 to every dollar. Then I go back and it's 3.6. Why?
Yeah.
In a matter of months. Why? But nobody sees that because nobody's going outside the country and really being very observant. How to go to 4.1 to 3.6 in a few months? Why? Why? If we're doing so good. And mind you, this is only the first year. We're not going to really feel it. We're not going to really feel it until going into next year and third year. And Camilla said it. It goes, watch. In 2 years, it's going. She said it during the debates. This is what's going to happen because how he handled things. And people don't realize it. Like
so. Wait, hold on. I'm not trying to be funny here, but are you saying things are bad right now?
Yeah.
Because I've heard you sitting in that chair arguing that, you know, like when
things are getting bad.
When Biden was president.
Yeah.
Oh, this is Trump's economy. So
it's not right now.
So is this Biden's economy?
No.
I want to know. Is this Biden's economy?
Did you listen to what you just said? I said by next year, in 3 years, we're going to be bad. I said it's getting bad. Right now, we are. Hold on. You can smile all you want, but when the shit, like, why is my company offering buyouts? A multi-billion-dollar. Why?
Listen, we've already had this conversation.
Why?
Because they can get someone to do it for half the price.
But why are you doing that?
Because they
can't get because
they're greedy.
Because they're trying to get guys to say take this little chump change to leave. We don't have to take it. You're gonna have to pay for it. So they're trying to find ways to save money because they see what's coming down the pike.
No. Listen, just my humble opinion. These big companies, like the one that you work for, and you have an awesome job. These companies are always trying to save money. Always trying to save money. And it doesn't matter now, 2 years ago, 10 years ago, 20 years from now, these companies are always going to try to save money. If they can get rid of someone or give them a buyout that they've had a job for 40 years, they're 50 years old or 60 years old, they will buy that person out to have someone do the same job for a fraction of the price at 25 years old.
But if your company is doing so well, when you just signed a contract last year to give a good amount of raise to part-time employees and full-time employees, and the following year you're offering buyouts, there's a problem down. It's not here. It's coming. They're preparing themselves for the hit. That, like stocks, when you buy stocks is about not how the company is doing now, is what is projected to do in the future. That's how they move. That's why when a terrorist, they don't know how to move when he messes with the terrorists, because I don't know with these terrorists what he's gonna do next week. Where, is this company gonna exist next year?
Yeah,
I don't know.
I mean, you mentioned the tariffs. Like, I'm reading articles like from both sides that are saying that the tariffs are working. That they're so. I mean, I don't. You tell me.
The tariffs are.
So the tariffs all are bad because I'm hearing that they're doing.
All right. So if they're working, then why is, like, I work for a company, e-commerce, probably the biggest e-commerce company in this country, and our volume is down. And this is what people don't understand. I can in my job, I can tell where the economy is going to be by looking in my truck. I can tell how successful the country is by the economy by looking in my truck. I'm right in the middle of it. I can see it happening. I can see the adjustments what the company is doing to help them feel this blow that is coming. It's not here yet. It's coming. Okay. It's coming. And so when you're looking at it and they're cutting routes, right? And they'll rather pay us longer days than put more drivers on the road to keep days shorter, because that's less money on healthcare. That's less money on gas. That's less money they're paying their guys. But yeah, they got guys out there 11, 12 hours a day, but that's okay. They're going to save money. That's how it goes. Even with the gas, these guys with the gas cards, they're putting in premium gas. It's like, don't do it. Put in the lowest grade gas because you're trying to save money. It's coming. It's coming. And if you don't think that these tariffs are not affecting it, it is. It totally is. And why these tariffs is stopping these countries trading, bringing product over here. Here's the other countries making deals with all these people. We're not the only country that provides stuff. This stuff that we need countries to work with. That's why you gotta, like, compromise with each other. There's things that we make, and there's something with things in this country we can't make, and we need other countries to ship it in here. And we're the consumers is the fact that we're paying for these tariffs. And I always say this about Trump. Trump had businesses and he always bankrupt. He didn't pay employees. He just called, and he did it legally. He went bankrupt and he wasn't affected. You can't run a country like he ran his businesses. You can't file bankruptcy on a country because know who bankruptcy is us, the consumers, going to deal with it. He is a terrible businessman. Terrible, because he understood, like, I don't have to pay, and if it doesn't go, I'll just file bankruptcy and all that thing will be wiped away. You can't do that when you're running a country. You can't file bankruptcy as a country. So if you have that same mentality and that's how you make a deal, yo, we're fucked. We're fucked.
All right. I mean, let's see what the next election.
Okay. And I always believe, like I told you, what thing is like when Trump came in, when he came into office, he inherited Obama's economy.
I know. Listen. I already know your spiel.
Yeah.
The Democrats always do an awesome job, and the Republicans always fuck everything up. And just that's how.
If you look,
that's how it works.
But if you look, no, that's how history is.
Right. That's what I'm saying. That's
you. Democrats has created, and I'm not even Democrat, Republican. Is like I lean more Democratic policies because at the end of the day, they created more jobs, and the economy is always better under Democratic policies. That's it. Like, why are we giving tax subsidies to multi-billionaires? Why?
I don't know. They've been doing that for years.
Both Republicans have.
Both sides.
No, they have not. No, they have not. It's Republicans doing it. And every time Republican gets in office, so AKA reference to Bush, when he's in office, freaking, and he did the same thing, what happened? We went into a recession. And these millionaires and billionaires got greedy, but they were saved. We weren't. But those policies, because you want to help them out, they don't care about us. And those are the puppet masters behind the politicians. So you got to pay attention to that 1%, in my opinion.
We can agree to disagree.
Okay. Yeah, we definitely can.
That's every week.
I mean, I don't see a lot of that, but I mean, hey, whatever. I mean, that's your opinion.
I don't believe how like I see it every day when I go to work. I could tell, like, I never saw my company worry about what grade gas you freaking. I never in my 30 years in that company, like literally, it's during the PCM before they go, guys. I'm telling you, if you put premium down, they were ready to say we're gonna hold you accountable, gonna reprimand you. It's that serious. So you gotta ask yourself why. And no, you don't want to ask yourself why, because the why is these decisions that's gonna make. I'm telling you.
I look at it different. Like I look at the why is like a company like your company.
Yeah.
Okay. When you can say tariffs and all that kind of stuff, whatever. Yeah. They make money. All they see is dollar signs. Okay. So if their CEO gets a $5 million bonus at the end of the year, bonus, not their salary, a bonus. They need to make money. So when they tell you, don't get the premium gas, get the cheap gas, okay? That's one truck. When you think about the fleet of trucks throughout the whole country or the whole world, right? That's $1 bazillion. Yeah. So when they, all right, you know what? Let's do the cheap gas, whatever. We're gonna put $30 million in our pocket over the course of 2 months or whatever it is. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
That's how they stay making crazy money, and that's what these big companies do. I don't think it's the tariffs. Oh my God, we're gonna go and
but they don't want, if like for an example, they make 10 billion. They're not gonna be happy. They're gonna make cuts if they made the following year they made 9 billion, even though they're making money 9 billion.
It's greedy,
but
I don't think it has anything to do with tariffs.
They're not gonna. But when you make 10 billion and you have a whole fleet and a whole crew that's making 10 billion, now you're making 9 billion. There's a lot of people that's gonna lose their jobs because of that 9 billion.
I mean,
you know what I'm saying? Just don't look at the company. Look at the people that work for them. So that's they had a Kingston hub gone. They opened that Kingston hub 4 years ago. It's gone now. They just shut it down. We don't need it no more. Why? You needed it 4 years ago. But 4 years, all of a sudden, what happened in that 4 year span? Maybe you get 4 or 5 year span to our economy, or what's going on? What's happening?
I mean, listen, I mean, I don't have that answer. What I'm saying is, like, you know me, I'm always like positive. I'm always trying to think, in a positive light.
I'm being realistic. I'm not being positive.
I'm being realistic. The realistic side of it, that company, your company, could have been like, you know what, this hub is not benefiting us anymore. You know, they tried it. We don't need it. We have other locations, so maybe they're getting rid of it because it just doesn't make sense for them.
Because there's no volume going through that. They don't need it. All that volume is going to the building that it came from in the first place. All that stuff was going from it was split up between Sagamore and Brockton.
Wow, your number's like really down?
Yo, I'm telling you. I'm really telling you, like, on a business side of it, like, they're making adjustments so they can still keep making money. Like, they're not like poor. Don't get me wrong, but these companies are used to making 10 billion. It's not going to be okay now they're making 9 and 8 billion. To you, that's like, there's no big deal. But the 8 and 9 billion, that funds a lot of employees. That funds a lot of healthcare. That funds a lot of other things that they get. So they're not going to be accepted with that. So I understand as a business side what they're doing, but they're not being reactive. They're being proactive. It hasn't hit yet. They just see it coming. That's their job. These executives just like, what's coming down the pipe? So we got to prepare ourselves.
I'd like to see. It's only been 7 months. I'd like to see more time.
Okay. Yeah. All right.
You know what? I don't know if the tariffs are working. I read some articles that they're working. You tell me they're not working. Let's see.
I gave you 2 examples. I gave you how the currency is going down outside this country.
Yeah.
And I gave you my experience in my company, UPS, the biggest logistic company in this country.
Yeah.
And what's happening? It's going. So you got to ask yourself, wait a minute, why is this happening? Now, that's the stuff I know personally. Now, I'm sure I can research and dig more to really find out what's going on. A lot of people listen to this president who lies a lot, saying we're the best economy here. What? And he keeps on saying it. He keeps on saying it. The guy's a marketing genius because you keep on saying it, people actually believe it.
Yeah, but the last administration kept saying the economy was good too. So it's like, who do we believe?
But businesses were thriving. Even like, if people want to criticize Obama's policies, but during Obama's years, there was a lot of millionaires and billionaires that was made during his tenure. A lot. We as Americans got the most millionaires and billionaires, and there were a lot of them were made during those years. So, but people don't look at that. People think that he was so terrible. Yo, you all made a lot of money during those years. So there was something going on. That's how I look at it. I don't look at it like just being told what you want to hear to get what you want. And this is what this guy's doing. It's like, God damn, man. But I don't know, Charlie, you're being quiet.
Charlie, you got anything?
Well, I'm at the point where I'm not believing too much of anything anymore. You know, so it's because I burned so much energy. Just debating some of this, but there's a whole lot of reasons why things are changing. I mean, Target just lost their CEO. He's done, you know, so there's things going on. Japan is just did something but see, I don't want to just throw something out there. I don't have fact. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
But it's burning, it's exhausting. It's you know, there's things that I like to concentrate on more. Truthfully, I'm afraid, really. I'm afraid what's going on. And the reason why I'm afraid is because there's society has become where they're like violence. They like to, you know, everything that they're like violence. And that's all going to come to head. It's all going to end up escalating at some point.
It's going to be a civil war.
And I
think going to be.
I think
I believe it.
We if no one's getting in control of anything, you know, there's so much judicial systems are arguing with each other. Yeah. Politicians are arguing with each other. Police are arguing with each other. There's so much stuff going on. And I think that when you have turmoil in all those different agencies and all those different departments, as far as government, something's going to happen. I mean, just think about if 4 or 5 people fighting in your workplace, it's turmoil. You can't get anything done. So imagine if it's people arguing on the governmental level.
You can't even have a difference of opinion. Because if y'all a person of big influence and you have a different opinions with this president, he's gonna attack you. He's gonna, and you cannot even have a different idea. You know what I'm saying? That you can't even say y'all wrong. You know what I'm saying? And like he can't, you can't even have a conversation with him. You can't even question as a reporter. Well, this is what's happening. You think, yo, that's a dumb question. That's a stupid, disrespectful. I'm like, dude, answer the fucking question. You can't even articulate what the plan is. And people actually believe this dude is fucking smart. It's freaky, it's frustrating. Like, if I'm wrong, fine, I'm wrong. But you as a president should be able to articulate why I am wrong. Explain. When you have a person who's reporting the jobs and the job things and all this other stuff, what did he go do? Because he didn't like what he heard, she just reporting the numbers. And what do? He want to fire her to hire somebody going to report numbers that's going to be in his favor. What are we doing here?
It's very uncomfortable.
That's crazy.
Getting to the point where
it's crazy.
I mean, I changed the algorithm to my YouTube channel. And when I look across the board, I'm like, holy cow, this is what I'm watching. But I can't help it because it's drawing me there. It's also burning a lot of energy. So
yeah.
But I don't know.
Yeah, child, listen, I'm with you. Honestly, like, we all work, right?
Yeah.
We all got families, just other stuff going on. Like to listen to this, it's very exhausting.
Yeah.
Okay. The politics, the TV, and I'll go back to last administration too. And because I didn't believe any of that shit, really.
Yeah.
Because me personally, take my own eyes, I take what I kind of see, what I feel, and I get my own opinion. I don't believe, this news station, I just don't do that because I feel like a lot of it's bullshit. A lot of it is, like when you take about like Jordan, LeBron, okay, there's going to be arguments on both sides.
Yep.
They're going to like put their spin on it or their twist and make compelling arguments for either side.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, I know Jordan's the greatest of all time, but it's like, if you listen to some of LeBron's arguments, like it makes you think. Everyone has their twist. Everyone has their narrative. Okay.
There's talking points.
So when I listen to these news stations over the last, 10 years, 15 years, like everyone has their narratives and I'm like, you know what? That's bullshit. That's bullshit. I don't believe that. Okay. Maybe I can see that, so that's how I do it. But it's very exhausting to listen to these stations or listen to these people on TV or reading, and it's their narrative. It's, it's half of it's bullshit. Can't do it.
That's why, like we as Americans, we need to get back to critical thinking. You can get the information, but critical thinking. And the best questions you can ask yourself for anything you could do, if it's in life, if it's in relationship, it's in politics, it's in job, why? Why is this happening? Why will this work?
Listen,
why? Like even with the immigration stuff, why are you handling it this way? Why? What is the outcome going to be? Because we still have the same immigration policies. Why? This country is full of, we're full of immigrants. This country was built off of immigrants. So why? I understand the people that I totally agree that if you did a violent crime, violent, keyword violent, if you did a violent crime, you should go through the due process to make sure first you are an illegal immigrant and then get automatically deported. Understandable. But that's not happening all the way through. Why? Why? Why are we having military people on our streets thinking that's going to solve crime? Why? Because let me tell you, military on the street, that reminds me, Nazis. So when you have Nazis on the street in the Hitler days, and you had the Nazis military, they were the police. That's what it's starting to.
So I read something today that there were no murders in 3 days in Washington D.C.
Okay,
that's like never happened in
Okay.
Okay, so maybe
So you think
maybe that has something to do with it.
So you think we should have military? In
I'm not saying that. What
are you saying then?
What I'm saying is,
what's the solution? Don't don't be reactive. Be proactive so we can have a long so we don't have murders.
okay. I'm with you,
because if it's perfect, it's something wrong with it.
We spoke we lightly spoke about this last week.
Mm-hmm.
I agree with you. To me, there needs to be longer jail sentences. When people commit a violent crime, like with a gun, with an unregistered gun, you shouldn't get a slap in the hand and be back on the street doing the same thing next weekend. You should be in jail. There should be, you should be held accountable.
Yeah.
So there are definitely some things that we can be proactive doing. But it's like when I read that, I'm like, so I mean, I'm not saying military should be in all these cities. What I'm saying is there are some cities that probably need that to like stop the violence. I mean, Chicago, I think that I read today, I think 259 murders so far this year. 259 murders in Chicago.
Why? Why is there 259 murders? You don't care to ask that question. And that's the problem.
Well, you tell me why.
Like, I don't know.
I don't know neither.
So why don't we find out? But you don't know why there's 259 murders, but you're quick to say bring the military there.
I'm quick to stopping that. Yeah.
All right. So
yeah.
when the military leaves, what's going to happen?
And that's what I was going to mention is that this military idea and concept is temporary. You're fooling the citizens of DC by doing all this, and then all of a sudden they're going to be gone. So who helps with the big bad guys on the corner now that you're gone after 30 days? Who's going to help them now? Who's going to help them when things may go to the increase, where the things increase? And so what do you go back to the DC police again? Well, according to the stats, they were doing a good job. So I don't know. I just think there's a lot of, over my years that I've seen, there's a lot of military people that did not qualify to be police officers, men and women, on local and state police. They just wasn't capable of doing it. However, the difference is a lot of National Guards, men and women, are police officers. So if you have a huge percentage that's going into the communities and that know-how, that they know how to police communities, they know how to do things, fine. But we talked about this not too long ago. It's just, I don't think they're capable of dealing with interactions like that. They have different training, a different mindset. And I think when they come in the city, you have to be, no, it's they're not going to care. But I don't want them there. That's my first thing. Secondly is they're only there temporary.
My thing is this. I don't think people wake up in the morning and be like, I'm about to kill somebody.
No,
the people don't wake up and says, I'm about to go rob somebody. That's not my plan for today. But when you're in an environment when you're trying to survive, and yeah, you're probably caught up on BS and it's crazy people. Don't get me wrong, nothing is 100%. But you got to ask yourself why. Like, why? Why are these people resulting to crime? Nobody cares about that. And I have friends who been in their crimes all their lives, and they try to get out, and it sucks them back in because that's all they know. And why is that? That's all they know. Why is that?
Because they can't pass a query. You can't get employed. So the best thing you can do is start a business. And some do it. But bottom line is you're stuck in life because
a mistake you made or whatever, it happens. So now y'all caught up in it, and more you stay in it, the more deeper you get, and the more you're gonna have to get deeper to survive. And then all of a sudden, yeah, it might come to violence. It's survival.
I mean, I was telling kids,
I'm not saying it's right.
Young adults, when they were incarcerated, I told them, look, start your business. Whatever trade you're doing in there, do it well. And then when you get out, try to get your license in a van and a pickup and start your business. You have to do it that way because you're not going to pass
A Corey
a
test.
Corey to get on it.
That's so your options are very limited because maybe let's say a person had a kid and this kid was just born into this environment. It's not his fault, and it's learned behavior. This is all he knows. Now you're searching like you're trying to figure it out.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Now it's I'm not trying to excuse they should be accountable for the crimes that they commit. Don't get me wrong, but I don't believe military on the streets is the solution. Like that's being reactive. But then there's no you could be reactive, but where are the policies? Where is the funding? Where is the information? So this stuff can stop so you don't have to react and put million on the table. I don't see it. Same thing with immigration. You got the ICE out here deporting people, but where is the policies to have a better immigration policy and an immigration system? Nothing.
I completely agree. We spoke about this last week.
So where is our president? This is the responsibility of the president. What was the president?
I know. Listen,
I like that pisses me. It pisses me off because people think he's doing so great because the perception of what he's doing. But I want to play something that it was a great point, right? And this
so willing to tear our cities apart in this moment.
Dangerous criminals continue to flood our nation and kill our citizens.
This has to stop. I mean, I think about it for my grandkids. I mean, how safe are they in this society?
One woman or one child violated by an illegal alien is one too many.
The alarm bells were going off a long time ago. A lot of Democrats will defend this and say, well, you know, it's such a small percentage. They have blood on their hands, pure and simple. One is too many.
One is too many.
Listen
one death. By the way, true. It is too many. Violence should never be accepted. It should never be tolerated. But that's for their issue. In the wake of Sandy Hook and Uvalde and Parkland and El Paso and Lewiston and Aurora and Buffalo and Boulder and Binghamton.
hold on.
Why?
He get to a point too. Hold on.
Right. Why is the right and Uvalde and Parkland and El Paso and Lewiston and Aurora and Buffalo and Boulder and Binghamton and Highland Park and Monterey Park and San Bernardino and San Jose and San Francisco and the Pulse nightclub and the Colorado Springs nightclub and the Little Rock nightclub and the Borderline Bar in Thousand Oaks and the Ned Peppers Bar in Dayton and the Waffle House in Nashville and Virginia Tech and UVA and MSU and UCSB and FSU and NIU and SMC and the Sutherland Springs Church and the Mother Emanuel Church in Charleston and the Living Church of God and the Tree of Life Synagogue and the Allen Mall and the Westroads Mall and Fort Hood and Lockheed Martin. And what are we f***ing doing? What are we doing?
It's a great point.
what's the point? I missed it.
Those are all mass shootings in the last 25 years here, and nothing was done.
Right.
Nothing.
Completely agree with
Nothing done. But see, that gets a pass. What, they're not ups in arms and putting military or changing policies. So kids, majority of that stuff is kids.
Who's not up in arms? Listen, I understand that you don't like Trump. That's fine. This shit's been going on for years. I advocate. Listen, we give all this money to Ukraine. We send money all over the world. There should be a metal detector every school with a police officer. Why isn't there? Why isn't there though? No, but why? You keep saying why and proactive. You make it like Trump's been president for 30 years. We've had Obama's been president, Biden's been president, plenty of Democratic presidents along with Republican presidents. Why haven't they changed the immigration system? Why haven't they done that to our school system? It's all of them.
Biden
all
Biden tried to create a different immigration system, and the Republicans shut it down because they ran the conduit. I don't know, because they wouldn't even allow it to go through.
Please tell me the immigration system.
I don't know. Why don't we know?
There was no immigration system.
Why? How do you know?
None.
So no, they did stop it.
They stopped it. Trump told them to stop it, to block it.
What was the immigration system?
We don't know, because they couldn't even get to the floor. They even explain it.
He let everyone in the country. That was his system. Oh my God. What was the system? Please tell me, Charlie. What was the system?
Derek, they didn't let anybody. Because trust me, I've talked to people who had parents that crossed the border, who didn't want to cross the border illegally, and you don't know how hard it is to even do it. You don't know how. This is what I'm saying. Is like this ignorance. You think it's just walking over the border. It's that easy. You think it's that easy?
I'm not saying it was easy. What I'm saying is they did it. You don't think millions of people just came over the border? That's a factual thing. They came over the border. That's why we stopped it. We sat on the show last year and said, "Yo, we got to stop this border. This border is getting out of control." We all agreed on it. Did we not?
And so when a president comes in, regardless if he was letting people you want to say just come in freely, where that's a talking point. They're not coming in freely. They're not walking in like they just walk into this door.
What were they doing?
Here. They're like, you tell me.
Biden,
think that
Biden had a bill. Biden had.
He
had it, and it didn't go through because it was stopped by the majority, which was the Republican Party.
And who told him to do it?
And
Trump.
And now here we have this big bad bill, and that gets passed. It's just reverse. I truly, we always had an immigration policy problem.
Yeah.
And for right now, I think most people were deported during the Obama administration.
A lot of people were deported.
So
a lot of people got deported during the Biden also.
And no one complained about it.
Huh?
And we didn't. And
because he did it by due process, not military.
He didn't do a lot of it by due process. That's your station that you're listening to.
He didn't do it.
That's what I'm saying. You have to discern what you want to believe on the TV.
There was a lot of pushback when Obama was deporting a lot of people, and you know what he did? He explained. He goes, I'm deporting people that are here illegally and everything of that nature. You gave them due process. They get them out of here to prove that, because due process is to prove that y'all here illegally. You got here out of the league. He was millions and millions of people he got out of the country, and he got ridiculed for that. But you know what he did? He sat down. He explained it. I could pull up a clip where it was during a speech, and people were going off, and they were gonna kick him out. He said, "Don't kick him out," and he explained it, because I'm trying to get some fair, legitimate immigration policies, but I can't because the Republicans won't work with me. I'm trying to do it. It's all politics. And when these Republicans care about so much immigration, and you think the solution is to put military people on the street instead of coming down and trying to develop, you're worried about this bill they gave $45 billion to ICE.
Well, I like to use that National Guard to stay in DC, but just about face and go to everywhere they need to go in those federal buildings and get all those pedophiles out of that building. Part of this Epstein.
And I don't care about that.
That's criminal.
They don't care about that.
Let's work on that.
You don't even care about the preachers that freaking molested these kids over decades. You don't even care about that.
You know what? The gangbangers are going to be the gangbangers. Capone was Capone, and he lasted as long as he did. Gotti lasted as long as he did. It's always going to be there. But right now, I don't care what anybody says. My priority is that Epstein's list. Epstein's file is very, very important because
there's Democrats and Republicans.
There is. There's anyone sitting in that seat. I guess we can highlight a lot of seats, and there's a lot of people inside the government and outside the government that are part of that. And I worked 2 years in the rape unit, and the scars that are caused by little children that are raped and molested last a lifetime.
But that's okay though.
And for us not to focus on it and people not to focus on it in this country and just to give a pass and kind of concentrate on other things like we are doing right here on this show. We're concentrating on things that that need to be addressed. However, the most important thing is that people were raped and molested.
But we could do everything at the
And-
same
and-
time, Charlie. Like I believe,
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Like we don't have to focus on just one thing. But you're absolutely right what you're saying.
That's
And
why they have rape units,
and
right?
that's why I believe when I look at my politicians, I look at the character of the man. I don't give a shit about the party, because at the end of the day, we all as Americans want the same thing. We may have different ways of going about it, but the character of the man. This man got multiple baby mamas. He hired freaking girls to have sex with him and to pay him and all this other stuff. He's saying that he's telling a 10-year-old girl, I'm joking or not, I'm gonna date you in 10 years. This is a character of a man. I don't care about the Republican. I don't care about the Democrat. The character of a man. It could have been a totally different Republican. Then we can discuss different ways of policies. It's the character. And because he has bad character, he's going to kill our country, I feel like, into a recession and a possible civil war. I really honestly believe that.
Charlie, just to go back to your point, and I can appreciate Berto's energy for this, right? I know he's passionate about it.
Yeah.
But the thing is, this is both sides. You make a good point about like the Epstein list.
Yeah.
Like these guys, I don't like all politicians. Like these guys are all over there, like, doing what they want. They don't really care about the American people. It's both.
Why is the right?
You know what I'm saying? It's both sides.
And now it's gone extremely worldwide. These Epstein files and this Epstein enterprise that he has. It's all over the world,
right?
And so it's I just heard it just yesterday.
So I mean, why didn't Biden release it?
I just think that there's a lot of them that are involved.
That's what I'm saying. It's both sides. It's all of them.
It's wait, and
they're always protecting their person. They're protecting their buddy.
I believe the Democrats, they're too traditional. They respect the separation of departments of democracy. So Biden was like, the DOJ handles that. I'm not gonna go into it and handle that.
Yeah.
Trump is not being a president like that. He has influence on what the DOJ does.
Yeah.
Like, I want you to attack that person. I want to back. He was like, if he said the DOJ is the DOJ, the FBI is the FBI. That's how Obama did it. You know what I'm saying? Because Obama had a Republican who didn't vote for him run the FBI.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So but the Democrats are just being, that's why I said earlier in the show, I like, you need to go back to down there energy. Act like them. Because being nice doesn't help.
I mean, there was a lot of different things going on with JFK, right? And so they kept it hidden and locked up for so many decades. It was just locked up because there was conspiracies and people involved in it. So let's just keep it hidden for a while, keep it locked down, and then wait 40 years, and then we'll come up with something.
But
release it.
You look at something
it's
like
the same thing what they're going to do with this Epstein file. It's going to get prolonged until witnesses are dead.
They're dead, right? The guy that did it.
Until until they're not around, and then all of a sudden now, my grandchildren are looking at it and say, "Whoa," and so they're just hoping they have this time. Personally, I mean, I think everybody we see on the TV, well, any talking heads from the government that are talking about this, and I think they all know somebody from every president.
And I'm not even saying that they did anything. I'm saying if you're a president and you had an association with this particular person, you should not be allowed to be president. It's a character thing. Because it's your character that telling me that you have bad judgment of character. And if you have bad judgment of character, you think that you have the skills to run a country like the U.S.? You think freaking Putin's your friend.
Oh, it's
you got bad character. All Putin is like, pat him on the back. Yeah, good job.
And that's one thing I think that the war is continuing with Ukraine and Russia is basically because there's something in it for whatever that triangle may be. Say it's Trump and Putin. There's something for Russia. So Trump is going to continue with this. If it wasn't anything, if there was something there, I mean, just say, all right, I want to stop the war. We are not going to help you, Ukraine. We have no more alliances with you.
We're still giving money to Ukraine, but nobody's talking about that, right?
Israel, we're giving money to Israel. All the money that we're talking about.
We're giving you. How much you think we're giving?
I don't know. I don't think we're giving blank checks like we were.
Yes, we are.
Well,
yes, we are.
Even if you don't want to talk about giving money to Ukraine, the money we're giving to Israel is even worse than that.
Yep.
So
now we're giving to Ukraine and Israel. That's top.
So it's and we talk about a lot of things that
now, right?
We're missing, and we're fighting for jobs getting lost, so on and so forth.
Yeah.
There's so much money going outside this country that
we weren't going through this when
who's going to stop it?
We weren't.
What are we going through?
There's nothing he has done. He signed executive orders. It's a perception. It's not reality. Nothing has got done.
So in 2 years, it should be. I mean, you guys should win on a landslide.
If Republicans don't cheat, they're already trying to. Well, if you think it's doing so great, why they trying to redistrict things? If you guys won by a lot, so you're doing so great, you're doing what the country wants. Why are you worried about redistricting to gain more seats? Because you're scared that you're gonna lose seats? Yes, they're scared to lose seats. Why is the president calling up a state and asking for seats? What are you worried about, bro?
I don't know that he is. I mean, if you have information about that, I don't know. You know.
I just think it's 2026 is the most important time for this country to make a decision whether you want to put this country in the direction that it's going now, or you want to change it. And 2026 is going to do that. Regardless if Trump has 2 more years, when the majority changes over to the other side, is my perception, then things people will be held accountable. If you want it the way it's going, guess what? It's going to continue this course, and our country is going to change. Things are going to change in the direction that the Republican Party wants it to go. And Project 2025 clearly demonstrates this is how they want it to go.
Everything in Project 25.
Just not to cut you off, but not just the Republican Party, but the American people.
Yeah.
So to your point, if the vote goes the Republican ways in the midterms, it's not just what the Republican Party wants to get done, but it's what the American people want to. Fair enough?
True. Yeah. The more so in this past, the election that Trump won. All right, that I just said, all right, maybe this can be changed in 2026. Now, if it's changed, if it's par for the course, or it's steady as we go, and we want Trump to lead this country the way he's been leading it, 2026 is going to decide it. We talked about the numbers that are low in this city. Well, it's pretty much like that in the country. Mm-hmm. So if people come out and vote, and it becomes a landslide victory where the Republicans are now the majority again, guess what? That's the direction this country is going to go. And whether if you like it, then you stay here on board. If you don't like it, you better buckle down and get ready for a long ride, because
again, my beef is a character of the person, and I want to be able to have some confidence, and I just feel like it's rooted in fear. It's rooted in fear and ignorance and prejudice of a lot of things, and that's a formula of destruction, in my opinion. Like, democracy is hard. It's hard. It's not easy. It's not going to be 100%. There's going to be people that's not going to like it. There's going to be people that are going to like it. It's hard. I totally understand that. But it got to be done with some type of empathy empathy and strategy and being more proactive than reactive. Because when you're reactive, being reactive is not a solution. It's like if somebody is coming up to fight you, right? You're not gonna wait till they punch you.
Mhm.
And then I'm gonna punch back. You're gonna try to de-escalate the situation before it gets to a point where they throw a punch where you're gonna have to react. Because once you react, it's already a fight. That's it. It's done. There's no going back from it.
Yeah.
So you can't you can't. I don't believe you need to go into. This is the reason why you are president for 4 years or 2 years. Like, all right, you got to look ahead. You can't do whatever's now is now, but you got to look ahead. How can we make things better next year?
Yeah. So my biggest gripe with Trump, is that he does have the House and the Senate, right? He's in total control.
Yeah.
My biggest problem with him is, I think, because no other president has done it, the immigration system is so flawed, in my opinion. He has an opportunity right now to be like the hero and be like, you know what? Why is it that it takes 10 years to become a U.S. citizen and $1 bazillion to become a citizen? Why is it that long?
Why?
He should create something right now. Because the thing is, I believe Trump and the majority of United States citizens, we're fine with immigration. We're a country of immigrants. People have been coming here for forever. We're totally fine with it. Just not what we've seen the last 4 years, coming the masses, sleeping in airports, staying in hotels when we have homeless people outside, right outside our building, and we're putting up people in hotels. People had a problem with that. So there's a problem with immigration. My point being is he could have an opportunity to fix that. And
he's not.
Why is it taking this long? Because no other president, Republican or Democrat, has said, you know what, we need to make some changes.
What executive order? Let's say, because executive order is just a document.
Yeah,
right. It's not policy. It doesn't have. It's not a bill.
Yeah,
you got to create a bill to get for the Congress to vote on it. So it's only like a short stint, right? So this is where I say why aren't you? You have the House and the Senate and the presidency. Why aren't you creating a policy in the bill to fix this immigration problem that everybody thinks we have? And you're doing nothing except creating fear within your citizens and people. So why are you doing? So now I'm asking you, why are you reacting that way? Why are you doing that?
Just think of this, right? We have doctors coming from other countries and getting approved to work in our hospitals, in our research. They're getting approved to do all this more quickly than someone getting citizenship, right? And what I'm saying is that they're from another country getting approved to work on people, and it's quick, it's instant. And why can't we do that with citizenship? And I believe a lot of it's happening within a month, a year, but you go through a board, you get certified. We have people just north of us and working in the best hospitals in the whole country, and a lot of them are from different countries, and they're here on whether it's a visa or whatever it may be, and they're working in the hospitals. And I think that the same thing, the process of becoming a citizen should be a whole lot smoother, because, and like Trump could do it. He can do it. Just say, all right, 6 months.
But the way he's doing, like I'm just thinking about what he else is doing when he deals with, the head of putting Jack Kennedy as the health department, like him.
Yeah, I got a problem with it. His history is
Why?
terrible. I mean,
you have the education department. She was running the WWE. Her? Like what are we doing here? Even the head of the Pentagon, he was an analyst on CNN. You had a 5-star general that was head of the Pentagon, and you got rid of him, and you thought this person is better.
Yeah,
this is a character thing to me. It's the characters.
Character.
I'm seeing these trends. These are
Resume,
characters to me.
You know, everything. It just you.
The head of the Homeland Security. She seems like she's a housewife.
What's wrong with housewives?
Careful,
be careful. A lot of people listen.
No, the show, like Housewives of whatever, of Hampton or whatever. That's what I'm talking about. There's not talking about housewives in general. Just housewife, the show. It's like I'm not.
So listen, the thing is, how I look at it. It's only been 7 months.
Yeah.
And I try to take a step back. And listen, I know you guys aren't Trump people, okay, and that's fine. I like the differences. I try to take a step back because you want to talk about like the education system. Our education system has gone downhill in 30 years. We're not the top. We're not in science and health, and
no,
we're not at all. So you know what? Maybe we need to change things. Our health thing. We're the obese country in the world. Our health sucks. Our health system sucks.
I just had
so why not change something? I'm not saying he's the guy, or I'm not saying those picks are correct. But what I'm saying is I take a step back because I'm like, you know what? Something's got to be better than what we got. So try it.
But not that though.
Try it.
Not that. There's no background that tells me for you to run this. All right. He like Jack Kennedy wouldn't even get. He wouldn't be the head of the health department in New Bedford.
Those
he want to be. He's not even qualified to do that.
And
never mind the country. Like he this whole vaccine thing. And I had a conversation with a friend of mine who was talking about like health of Americans. And know what it comes down to. You look at when you go outside the country, and you realize they're not as obese. They're more healthier.
Right.
Why? Everybody's focused
on our food.
Yes. So everybody's gonna focus on vaccines. Maybe it's our food that's killing us. Maybe it's our food is affecting us. Because to a point where it's like vaccines is probably trying to fight against it, but maybe it's our food, what we're putting in our food. But nobody's worried about that.
No, I think people are worried about it.
The sugary type stuff.
This capitalist system.
They say that majority of the cereals on the shelves are full of sugar and bad for you.
What did they say? A person said, you go to the supermarket, don't buy anything that's I-view. That's all the bad stuff.
Right. So yes.
It's money. See how they market it? They're using our ignorance to kill us. They're using our ignorance to separate us. And we got to critically think. We get it. We take in all the information. Then we got to critically think what's best for us and figure out the best way. We all individuals. We all have different ways. Like a diet that works for you may not work for me. It might work for you, may not work for me. We got to critically think. There's not just one way of doing things. So we got to be able to talk to each other. And that goes along with immigration. That goes along with healthcare. That goes along with education. And there's not one way. Because democracy is hard, but we're not doing that.
Listen, I completely agree with that statement because I feel I do that. I critically think, I take a step back, I get the information from a bunch of different things, and I come up with my own point of view. Yeah. But to go back to Kennedy, okay, he's the first person that I remember saying, yo, take the dyes out of this food. I've never heard anyone, so because it's money. When it comes to money and these big industries shuffling money to campaigns and what have you, politicians don't say anything. This is the first dude that I remember being like, yo, this is killing our kids. We need to take the dyes. Other countries don't have this stuff in their food. Yeah. We need to take it out of our food. He's the first person I hear say that. So I don't care if you like him or not.
If you taste Coca-Cola in this country and go taste it in another country, don't taste the same.
Yeah.
Because it's different. But it's to both say Coca-Cola.
Yeah, it's different and it's addictive. It's addictive.
That's what I'm saying.
Our foods.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
You can't put it down.
That's what I'm saying. And so there's people are trying to push this, and that's why I believe in science. I believe in science because science is going to prove it to you. Science is going to do research. They're going to go process of elimination. They're going to do all these other things to develop a way that's best to service us, not some conspiracy theory that you think of what it is. I think that vaccines are more positive than negative. Is it 100%? 100% no. Nothing is. I think what hurts us in our country is our food. is our food. That's the main thing. Everybody's worried about if we eat better, we have a better food. We're not going to rely on that medication. You know what I'm saying? And like even if you have high blood pressure and they give you medication, that just helps it. It almost like band-aids it, but it's not curing it.
Listen, I completely agree with you. These pharmaceutical companies, they want like clients for life. None of them say, yo, go work out. Okay, when this COVID shit happened, the government's not saying, yo, drink your water, drink your water and work out to be healthy. They're like, take this vaccine or take any medicine. Like, they don't push being healthy. Our schools don't do it.
But no, what you do, health class, educate your kids at a young age of how to eat, what to eat, even in schools and everything like that. Force them to use their mind. Like kids need to go back to school and use their locker again to use your brain to memorize your locker combination. So you use your brain.
Yeah, but hey, listen,
you know what I'm saying? Like little things like that. I'm just like, so give them skills so when they get in the real world, they know how to survive.
I agree with you, but it's difficult for the school to teach in health class, yo, eat this because it's healthy, and then the kids get home and their parents eating ring dings all night.
But those kids will end up being, but those kids will end up being parents. So they had the education to maybe break that generational curse.
Right.
You got to start somewhere.
Right.
It goes home ec class, teach them how to cook these foods. You know what I'm saying? Have classes, understand how to like handle a bank account. You know what I'm saying? Handle money, like other things like this. This is going to help the generation in itself. Like give them skills where they could go in and use to survive instead of, I don't know what to do, so I might as well go rob and shoot somebody.
Well, we grew up around here. There was a bank at New Bedford High School.
Yep.
Right in the core.
Yep. Oh, really?
So you had banking.
We had banking.
As a teen, you can go right in there.
You put money in it.
And have your own account, and that was.
Was it like a branch of a local bank?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right in the middle.
Yeah.
She go through that core, that circle.
Right in the core.
Right there. As soon as you open those swinging doors, the bank was right there.
Yeah. I remember I remember in junior high school, in junior high school, you had home ec, you had a shop class, you learn how to measure and all this other stuff. You learn how to mix and everything like that. And all these things that are basic skills that you're gonna need to survive, that is going to help you even if you had a family of your own. And then it's like, if you understand how food works, you know what I'm saying? You know how to how money works, and you're giving these kids the skills that's going in, and then also giving them ideas, because now that you're forcing them to use their brain, like, I want to become a doctor, I want to become a police officer, or a plumber, or I want to become a lawyer, I want to become a politician, I want to come, all these things, because you're giving them access to all this stuff. But then you just wiping up funds, and you're just doing basic.
Yeah, we are definitely, we just gotta wait. We gotta wait all this out and let it all take its course.
Just give it some time.
Yeah. It's very important for this country in the next 4 years to establish who they're gonna be. Is it gonna be a change from 1776 and the Constitution and the way they wrote it? Is that all going to change? Yeah, there's going to be some changes, but that's going to be decided within these next 4 years. And I know that the country that we all grew up with is going to be slightly different, drastically different in some way, shape, or form.
Yeah, it's progression. It's going to change regardless.
Yeah,
is it going to change for the good? It's almost like is a good segue that I wanted to talk about is like when Trump, he doesn't want to talk about slavery. He wants to take the music, like in the Smithsonian. Yo, we talk about slavery too much. Why can't we just talk about something good? And this is where I don't. It's a character thing again. It's like we learn about history, no matter what type of history it is. We learn about history so that we don't repeat it. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of the LeBron James, Michael Jordan era. There's a lot of kids that think LeBron James is the best player because they never seen Michael Jordan. You got to teach them who Michael Jordan is to understand so they can make the right, conscious, educated opinion. If you don't teach them who Michael Jordan is, then LeBron is the GOAT. It's the same thing in history. Teach the history so you don't repeat it, because racism was taught. That's what it is. It's taught behavior. And I always said it. Racism is taught. It's taught behavior, but so is the pain. So is the pain. And it's not just slavery. It's also Jim Crow era and all that other stuff. So you got to teach. How did we get here as a country? And, you know, and we're probably the youngest country in this world. We became such a superpower. So why take that? That's how it's bad. Every country has some type of bad history, but you gotta really teach people generations after generations after generations and after generations. Because when you say, "Oh yeah, America is so great, you create a lot of ignorant people. You create a lot of ignorant people because everything is not. It goes. You're not the greatest person. You're a great person, but you got flaws. There's things that you probably would say, "Hey, I wish I'd done differently. I would have made different decisions."
I say it
right
all
the time. You look back on it and be like, "I'm not going to do that again." Right? It's the same thing as a country. Like I'm a very flawed individual, and I probably won't be my best self until I pass away. Be honest with you.
Yeah.
I'm gonna make mistakes, but I'm gonna learn from my mistakes. But if I don't care to even look back and keep on making the same mistakes because nobody's checking me, the history's not checking me, they don't make no sense. You're gonna say, "I'm gonna make a mistake," and be like, "Bro, y'all good guy." I'm gonna make another mistake, "Bro, y'all good guy." We're not gonna talk about negative. No, we're talking about so how you supposed to learn to progress to be a better person, a better nation, without really looking at your mistakes. And that's all history is so you won't repeat it. We could learn about the JFK assassination, learn about the Nixon impeachment. We could learn about Jim Crow era. We can learn about the civil rights. We can learn about Reaganomics. We can learn about the first black president. Go on and on and on and on, and how we progress as a nation. Everything wasn't good. We had the Watts riots. You know what I'm saying? We had the LA riots. We had Rodney King. You know what I'm saying? We had attempt on people's life. We had these mass shootings with these kids at the school. We have to really pay attention to these things so we don't repeat it and stop hurting each other.
Yeah, it's gonna well, I always tell people to reflect on. There's a good book out there. It's called Wilmington's Lies. Check it out. You know, it's in Audible. It got paperback. And it talks about all the different things that went on, especially after the Civil War, during the Civil War and afterwards, and how things were done within this country, politically towards all parts of all people, black, white, and some of the things that were going on. Things were going for the good after the Civil War. There was a lot of progression. But then it got stopped for a lot of things we talked about, the gerrymandering, all these different things is all in that one book. It should be an award-winning book, but it's Wilmington's Lies. Check it out. And it talks about Jim Crow and a few other things. So.
All right. Let me calm down.
Very passionate, very passionate.
Yeah, but that's all right.
No, I
you know
like
what I'm
it.
saying?
I like it.
It's just, you know, at the end of the day, we all want the same thing.
Right, I agree.
We do want the same thing. We may not agree with it. And we got to understand there's some bad people out there that really want to hurt people just to hurt people for their own whatever.
Yes.
And there's more good people than bad people. We can't align ourselves with bad people just because they have some type of the same way of thinking. You know what I'm saying? And that's where it's like, that's why I don't like having this Republican Democrat debate. Like it's people, you know, like George Bush. Like I got to apologize to George Bush. To be honest with you, because I was so hard on him. I hate his policies, but he's not a bad dude. And I thought he was a bad dude. I was ignorant to that.
Yeah.
So it was like, no, he's a classy individual. His policy sucked. But he was a man of character. He was a man of empathy. He was a man of understanding and respect of the traditions and the democracy of this country. So even though his policies made it feel like a threat to me or the people that I come around, we weren't threatened because at the end of the day, because we were still respected. He still respected the Constitution and the laws that held this country together. So even though his policies were not in favor of me, but this country, I was still an American. I don't feel like that right now.
Well, George Bush should probably be a better president than he was,
Yeah.
Right now, if he
Right now.
ran. But he was a little, I think he was overwhelmed initially, and and he was training on the job, like they all are. No one's ready for this job to be president of this country. It shows on the top of their head on all of them, right? Obama came in with a lot of brown hair, he left and he was gray, completely, grayed out. And but even President Trump's, you look at him back then when his first term till now, he's failing health wise, and he's also getting older. The job is stressful. It's very, very stressful.
Do you think that
the only one smiling is Kamala Harris, because she's not in the mix anymore.
More and more I listen to Kamala Harris, I think she would have been like, even like people like Trump's so hard on crime and everything like that. But then when she was running for office, people were getting on her because she was tough on crime.
Yeah.
Who?
Kamala.
Who was getting on her for being tough?
Like people were saying, she puts on all
was,
black people or this and that and so and so.
It was
like they were getting on her because but she wasn't doing it. Like she was attorney general in California, but
she was perceived as a cop running.
Yeah.
In the black community.
In the black community. She was perceived as that.
In jail. And so that's where a lot of her votes were being lost, but her perception was that she was a cop that was running.
Yeah. I don't
but even that, they were saying that she was tough on crime, but there was other things behind it.
Yeah.
That's
I listen to her now, like in her interviews, I'm like, damn, we fucked up.
Oh, she might get a chance in
I don't think so. I don't think so.
I think she's done.
She's done?
She's done. I don't think so.
I think there's more. There's going to be other candidates that will surpass her.
I like Gavin, man.
Gavin is
I like Gavin.
I think there's just so many other on both parties. There's going to be so many new candidates that are going to be coming out.
I actually like Pete Buttigieg, but he's not gonna.
I mean, there is every election, right? The stage is full.
Yeah.
Right. So you always get 10 people from both sides running. That's democracy.
Because I just think she's done.
Because this is my thing. Because I really feel like if Kamala if she got voted in, I think that what's her name would have been Secretary of State. Cheney. Liz Cheney would have been Secretary of State, who's a Republican. Like, I honestly feel like that's who she would have put as Secretary of State. She would have put in a bunch of mixed people in, and I think we would have been great as a country. I think that there's a lot of things that Kamala didn't agree with Biden about, but she was loyal to Biden and she didn't say it. That was her mistake. But I respect it. But I honestly think there's a lot of things that Biden was doing she didn't agree upon, and she would have done something different if you gave her a shot. But she would have did it in a more of a classy, more of a logistic strategy way. That I really believe that. I honestly really believe that. But I want to just move on. I mean, we could just talk about that topic on and on and on and on. Let's have. I want to get you guys' opinion on this. Just listen what this woman says.
Hey, family. So I just learned that a man cannot have full control and full access to his feelings. So what was explained to me is, let's say someone broke in a house, right? And everyone is afraid. Everyone is fearful, right? But only the woman is allowed to be scared, because he then has to get up and protect his family. If they are arguing, he has to console her and he can't be consoled because she's the woman. The man can express what he feels because her feelings are supposed to be far greater than his. And I never really thought about it that way. He says if they lose the child, everyone consoles the mother. No one consoles the father. If they lose a loved one, even though it could be his family, they always console her. How you holding up? How you doing this for him? I was like, is it really like that? See, this is why I don't like that saying, happy wife, happy life. Because it, to me, it really, even listening to that conversation, it is literally saying you as a man have to put your feelings on the back burner, because the only way that your marriage or your relationship is going to be happy is if the woman is happy. Therefore, you're not allowed to think, feel, react. Like you become a robot in this relationship because only one person is important. Y'all listen, I don't want somebody that operates the way I want him to. I don't want somebody that's not allowed to think and feel, be vulnerable, react. Like, I don't want that. Why would anybody want that out of a person? Y'all, is that really how y'all feel? Y'all could tell me the truth. Is that how y'all feel in your relationship?
She's mixing too many things up. And the thing is that she first starts out that a man protecting a woman when someone breaks into the house, and then she adds all these other things where emotional, like if he's going through something, he can't be heard because the woman is first. She's first when we got to protect our women, right? If someone's breaking in the house, yeah, we're going to protect them. But when it comes to emotion, guess what? I'm still trying to protect my wife if she's going through something.
But she's
that.
saying goes, but you cannot have that emotion. Like that emotion could be fear. Yeah. Y'all not. She's allowed to have fear. Y'all not. Yeah. Because you got to protect her. So she's using that as an example. It's like she's afraid. I'm afraid too, but I can't feel afraid.
But we're made up like that. I don't know if you're gonna absorb that. So there's some comfortability for your wife, your family. You want them to be comfortable. Yeah, you're scared. All right, but I'm gonna absorb it right now. Yeah, I'm scared.
Yeah, that's
but
being
I'm gonna
a
still
man.
go through that fire.
But what she's saying is that for us to do that, we can't feel. We can't have an emotion. We can't, because that's gonna interrupt our manly duties. So like she said, another example was if you lose a child, you're quick to, you're always worrying about the woman, but the man is hurting too.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
But I would watching a woman give birth to a baby, and then say that fatal thing did happen. I would understand, and I would kind of put, I mean, I've lost babies myself, and I was hurt. I was brokenhearted. That's just something.
But what if like that scenario where a girl just during pregnancy, that's totally different. But you have a child, right? And let's say the child's 8 years old.
Yeah.
Some has an accident, pass away. You know, we know that man is hurting, but he can't feel. He has to not have that emotion.
Yeah.
And sometimes he's gonna have to deal with that emotion by himself, because men are not free to have that emotion. We're accountable of how we react to our emotions versus, a woman. Like,
can I chime in?
I just think
I feel you're partially wrong only in this respect. Okay. I mean, I think you're right in a lot of, but we've been taught that the man can't, show that emotion in the man. That's like a taught thing, like a macho type of thing. But I feel like as we go along now in 2025, it's okay for, men are learning, like, it's okay to get counseling, or it's okay to cry. It's okay
mental health
to need help.
Yep.
But, I feel like the more and more we go, we're getting to that point where it's okay.
And it's changed because
But I also
I agree with you, because it's changed where we were, as men, we were holding back so much.
Right.
And now as things go, even raising children and what people are telling my children outside the house, maybe at school or counseling or whatever, they talk about mental health and expressing it.
Right.
So, I mean, I talk about it on the podcast on Wednesday with Marvin, just letting it out. You have to let it out. And people have to recognize it, including the wife. Hey, babe, what's going on? How come you're not crying? What's going on?
Right.
And it goes back to communication.
But you know something, like I remember having a conversation with a female friend of mine, and I was asking about her and her boyfriend. And I was like, if your boyfriend cried in front of you, like bawling, crying, would you look at him the same?
Yeah.
She's like, yeah, I would. I'm like, no, serious, for real.
Mhm.
For
Well,
real.
what are they crying for?
But
It's because
doesn't matter.
If
Doesn't matter.
Well, if he's crying because their football team lost the Super Bowl, I get it. But if it's something serious,
no, I'm talking about if it's something serious, where it's like he's going through a rough period in his life, and he just balls out and crying. And she goes, would you look at him the same? And she really thought about it. She's like, you know something, I probably wouldn't have looked at him the same.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like it's women will say the right thing,
yeah,
but internally, like, oh, he was crying. It's more like it's not as attractive anymore.
I've seen a lot of young men crying. It's their first offense is to cry. Society has built a lot of people that, with tantrums and going on and screaming and hollering and crying. That's on both sides.
Yeah.
But I think that hey, she looks at you differently. God, move on. I mean, and maybe she doesn't want that man.
I think all girls internally will look at you in a different way. They won't admit it. They won't admit it because it's very shallow. It is. They know from right from wrong. The girls ain't stupid, but it's just they feel like I'm
they might get the reverse kind of man that they don't want.
That's what I'm saying. So it's almost like you should gravitate to a man like that. You know what I'm saying? Because if he's not crying, he's angry. And when you don't want a man that's angry, because we deal with our anger in a more of a physical sense than you know what I'm saying, a mental sense.
A lot of serial killers are serial killers because of their mom abusing.
Listen to this clip where he was talking about
neglecting them.
Like I like listening to Kevin Samuels.
Yeah,
and he's funny though. But if you really listen to what he has to say, is kind of true. Is true. Is you talking to a woman about how you're talking to a man. And how it goes, because women, because I was having a conversation again. It was like, was it yesterday? I forgot who I was with yesterday, and he was talking about, I'm talking to my wife, and we're arguing about my tone, She goes because she doesn't receive it because of my tone. But listen what this.
I get it. I get that.
You fight dirty, and what I'm hearing is you talk to your man like a woman.
No.
Listen.
Oh yeah, you do. Because if you talk to him like you should talk to a man, you should know from a safety standpoint that you need to keep your mouth closed. See, when two men are talking, there's a low-level threat of violence. If I'm sitting here talking to a man, I know there are lines. I can't cross certain lines with any man. I don't care how big or small he is. After a certain line, we're going to have to shoot the fair one. But you will go damn well low because you know good and well he ain't gonna do nothing. Because if you talk the way if you argue with him, if you argue with a woman the way you argue with him, would you and that woman end up in a conflict?
Possibly.
See, you
understand what he's saying?
Right.
So he's basically saying is like, y'all talking to your man like y'all talking to another woman, arguing with another woman.
Yeah.
But see, you can't. So he goes, no, I'm not. Yes, you are, because you're not talking to him like he's a man, because he's basically saying a man is much more stronger than you, right? If you're talking to a woman in a disrespectful way, there's a possibility that there's a boundary you're gonna cross that you're gonna end up fighting. That's why when two men talk, there's a boundary that we won't cross, because we know when we cross that boundary, we're gonna have to catch a fair one, right? But a woman, not all women, but a woman will talk disrespectful to a man, knowing that man can't do anything because he's gonna be held accountable. But you can talk however you want. So he was being direct with her. It's like, yo, sometimes you need to shut up, because you need to understand.
Well, I mean, I do feel there's probably some women that will push a guy's
Push,
button,
yeah,
knowing that he's not gonna like touch her.
Yeah.
So they're gonna aggravate him even more.
And not all women are like
not
this.
all, yeah. I mean, but there's a couple.
Yeah.
That's when a guy's gotta like just leave the room.
Yeah.
Or like, I'm out of here. You know what I'm saying? Before something happens.
Yeah, I mean, if the argument's not going nowhere and it's getting a little crazy, I'm the first one to go in the other room or leave.
Yeah,
I'll do that in a minute. Only because
I just break up with you. I don't argue.
Yeah,
I don't argue. Listen, I don't argue. You know what I'm saying?
No, you don't fight. You argue. You don't fight.
No, so I don't like to say. I like to say disagreement, like you and I.
Yeah,
like you and I on the show tonight. Right? We're gonna have a disagreement. We're gonna say our point.
So you guys a couple?
Yeah.
No, we haven't gone to the Black Whale in a while. Hey,
I know.
He hasn't taken me to the Black Whale in a while. Okay, it's been a month. It's been a month or so. But no, I want to have a disagreement, but I don't want to fight with you every day, because screw you. Like, this is gonna end. I'll find someone else or be by myself. I'm not arguing.
Yeah, no, I understand it. I understand it. Like, but like I said a thing. There's a quote that came up in my head. I says, communication equals understanding. Conversation equals learning.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. And I believe that arguing is a form of communication. Now, when you're being disrespectful within that argument, that's fighting. No, you don't want that. It's almost like you're in a court of law. You got the plaintiff, you got the defendant. You're both arguing your point of views and your side. You're arguing.
Yeah.
But it's in the controlled environment. You listen to each other and this and that. It's the same thing in a relationship. You can argue. You can raise your voice. Everybody's passionate. Like I was passionate. I'm raising my voice. I'm not mad at you. I don't hate you. I'm just passionate about what I'm talking about. And that's why I don't care if you raise your voice, because I want you to let it out. I don't want you to hold it in. You know what I'm saying? Because that's when it comes out in the wrong way. It may come out a way where you say, some awful shit. And it's because you're not yelling it, you're saying some awful shit, and it turns into fighting. You're not arguing your point of view to come up with a solution. So, but it's a way of talking. Like women are really about tone, and I understand that, but there's some women that will have that bad tone that make a man react the way they got to react. But we are held more accountable than women. It comes down to that. But we're gonna bring it. End it right there.
Is this the end? I gotta know. Is this the end?
Yes, we have come to another ending episode of the Frequency Live. Great conversation, guys. What do we think?
Yeah, I mean, all in all, of the whole conversation, the matter at hand is that you vote. Vote for who you've been voting for, or vote for the new person. And I strongly recommend that people review just the local politics in this case, and check out who you're voting for. And title given is a title earned, and I think that some people haven't earned their title. So register to vote quickly and do it this week on mass.gov for any city or town that you live in, Massachusetts.
Yeah, great show tonight, fellas. Appreciate being here.
Yeah, great show.
Yeah, I
good conversation.
I like coming here. I just you guys take too many breaks.
You guys don't have to
take too many breaks. Frequent flyers, vacation.
I'm trying to add them up, man.
I mean, next weekend, Labor Day too.
So. Yeah, so we're gonna be off next week.
I drive by your houses just so I can see your name on the mailbox.
So next week we're not gonna be here, but we'll be here on the week after. I want to thank all our listeners and watchers. Download the WMB1 radio app so you can listen to us every Sunday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time and catch all the other shows that's on this radio station. Go to WMB1.com to get any information. So I just want to thank our listeners and I want to thank our watchers on Facebook Live. And we will see you in a couple of weeks. Have a good night.
Good night, y'all.
You know something? Oh, hold on.